That was a weird game. Obviously when you start in the first with, 4 penalties, almost half the period you're killing. So not a good way to get into your game. Weird game. I thought a lot of power play and penalty kill either way. Never got to our game.
How do you assess the team's overall performance?
Yeah, obviously it wasn't our best. Not our best at all. I don't think our best has shown up all series long, but it's coming. Shift the focus to finding a way to get a win in Game 4.
Colin, it's uncharacteristic for this team to lose the composure, kind of like they did. What accounts for that?
Well, I don't think we lost our composure until maybe the very end there, trying to show a little bit of fight back. But I don't mind the fight back. Obviously, I think that's what good teams do. They, obviously not thrilled with the first period. But giving up. As I said, 8 minutes in penalties. Power play is not able to get one. Their power play gets one, and you're in a hole right away in a tough building against a really good team. Not easy to chase games.
You look at that and say that's something we can fix because there was 3 offensive zone penalties.
Yeah, something we can fix for sure. Yeah, something we can fix for sure.
Stu mentioned after the game there was some discussion in the locker room. What's your message to the guys, or what I guess as a team, what's the message going forward here for the next game?
Well, we got to find a way to win a game. That's it. That's the only message. The focus shifts right away to winning the game on Thursday. We came for a split, didn't get it tonight. Another opportunity Thursday.
You guys had some offense in the first couple of games. It was shut down a little more tonight. Was that, you feel like you guys were sort of the architects of that, or did they do a better job on you? Where do you think the offense went?
I thought we got away from our game. Part of that's due to chasing it a little bit. Part of that is, obviously credit to them. They played well. You find yourself in a hole. You're going to do some uncharacteristic things, and I thought we got away from our game a little bit there. We've done well chasing down games and turning the tide there. Obviously, we didn't do it tonight.
Connor, was this style of game, like chippiness and all the stuff, all the extracurriculars, more to their liking than it would be to yours, do you think?
We feel like we can play any game. I thought when the game's out of hand, you're going to see that stuff. I don't think it was necessarily that way early on while we're still playing. When we get into garbage time, those things happen, and I don't mind when those things happen. It's as I said, it's what good teams do. Fight your way out of the rink. I don't mind that in garbage time, but obviously, as I said, the penalties in the first hurt us. You're down 2, you're chasing it. It's tough.
Skinner took blame for that, but can you guys be better in front of him?
Took blame for what?
For just giving up a couple goals. He would like that.
I don't know about that. Can we be better on the first one? Maybe just a little bit of a scramble. They get it, we don't. Sure, we can be better, harder in front of them there. The penalty kill, they got some good players, good shooters. You give them that much time, they're going to make their shot. So I don't know how much we're going to put on Stu, but that's honorable of him, I guess, to try to do that. But yeah, we can be better for sure.
Well, you guys you've been rolling pretty good. Is this kind of a low point for you guys, and how do you recover?
What's that?
You guys have been rolling pretty well to this point. Is this a kind of a low point for you guys, and how do you kind of recover?
This is a low point. Yeah, disappointed, obviously. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals. You'd like to play better. But as I said, we came for a split. Didn't get that tonight. Have another great opportunity on Thursday to win in a tough building.
Connor, you said earlier in this scrum that you think your team hasn't brought their best yet. A year ago in here, you said to your teammates, whatever you got, bring it. Are we there Are we there now? Is that the point we're at with the series?
I think Game 4 is a really big game. You go back home 2-2 or down 3-1. It's a big swing game. If you win Game 4, you're going home with a lot of momentum. Just like them. They find a way to win Game 2. They come home with a lot of momentum. It's a pivotal game. There's no doubt about it.
Did it go wrong?
How did things go wrong?
Well, I mean, right away I thought we ended up playing what Florida kind of wanted, just a little bit of a track meet, a little bit of, grinding, lots of penalties. I mean, it was just penalty chaos tonight. Kind of started in the first period, letting a couple goals, one on the PK again, and then obviously Marchand's. And, I think they were gritty tonight.
I know you'll take a closer look in the coming days, but what's your initial feeling on your night, on the goals that beat you and how you felt?
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, some were chaotic, some were really nice shots. I got a little post lucky for them, a couple shots, but I mean, I've had my post luck too, so it goes both ways, and they made some nice shots. But I mean, as a goalie, you got to come up with a save. It doesn't matter. It's a game of inches. If I'm out, a quarter of an inch out farther on, what's his name, for Hagee's goal, then, it could be a save. Same with Reinhart. So I don't like letting, open shots in, so I take accountability on those.
So it's uncharacteristic for this team it's uncharacteristic for this team to kind of lose the composure like they did. Like, what did you make of that? And,
Yeah, I'm not too sure what I really make up of it. I think you just see that there's a lot of emotions that are going into this. We're trying to win a cup. They're trying to win a cup. So there's fight. Some guys are flaking, going down, trying to cause penalties. The other teams don't like that. So then it's just going to be a battle, right? Obviously, we're not going to go down without swinging. They didn't do it when we beat them 8-1. I mean, they were cross-checking everybody. They were fighting us. They were doing everything to get under our skin. And so, it's going to go both ways.
The first couple of games were close. This one was pretty lopsided. Is that tougher to regroup from?
It might feel like it, but I don't think it is, just because it's a series. They're up 2-1. That's all it is. It's one game. They could have beat us 12-0. It's the same result. It's still just 2-1. It's not like if they win by any more that they go up extra. So it might feel a little bit harder just because we weren't in the game tonight. But it doesn't change how we're going to respond.
As much as you want to forget about last game, this one will be tougher. Do you want to remember that they can hurt you if you do mistakes?
No matter who you're playing against, if you don't show up, teams are going to hurt you. You can play anybody in the NHL. It's a good league. And we know that. We've experienced it tonight. We've experienced it many times before tonight. So we know what we're going to be up against. It doesn't change how we're going to respond again. We got 2 days to, come back, and I think there's some things that we're going to have to change.
How was it in the room after tonight?
Yeah, it was a little quiet, obviously, at first, because we obviously got it handed to us. But I think after that, Leo gave us some really good words of wisdom, gave us some motivation, and we know what we have to do. And we're still talking a lot, actually. Just before I came out here, there's a lot of conversations going on just on, how we got to, just show up better.
Stu, how difficult was it for you to get into the game from a goaltender's perspective with all the penalties?
Yeah, Bob had to do it too. It's definitely tough just because there's not a lot of flow because there's no 5-on-5. So you're watching for 2 minutes, then you're playing for 2 minutes, then you're watching for 2 minutes, playing for 2 minutes, and that was kind of the whole first period. So yeah, it's definitely difficult, but again, that's hockey. If I wasn't able to handle it, I shouldn't be playing.
You guys have talked about how last year's experience made you mentally tougher, mentally more prepared for this series. Do you think Game 4 is the greatest test of that?
Every test from here on out is going to be the greatest test for that, win or lose. So I think no matter what, we're always going to be showing our resiliency, even in wins. So I think it's another test for us, another great test for us to come back and show everybody what we can do.
A year ago in this building, Connor fairly famously said, "Bring it. Whatever you got, bring it." Are we at that moment now?
I think we were at that moment from game one, just because we know that if we don't do that, the same thing's going to happen last year. We could have gone down 3-0 pretty quickly. Obviously, we learned our lesson because we've gotten one win. This is another moment where we definitely got to look in the mirror and change a couple things and make sure that we come back a lot harder game 4 here.
What's the greatest goal tonight?
Yeah, obviously both teams took 4 penalties in the first period. They had a 2-0 lead, and obviously not the start you want on the road.
Did they get under your skin? Did they drive you guys off your game?
No, I don't think so. I think, the game obviously got out of hand at the end there. That stuff is going to happen. I mean, you look at some of the calls and whatnot. Obviously, some of them are frustrating. They seem to get away with it more than we do.
Why are they frustrated?
They seem to get away with it more than we do. I mean, it's tough to find the line. They're doing just as much stuff as we are. It was 4-4 at the end of it, and then it gets out of hand, and there seems to be a little bit more attention in our group.
Evander, does that style of play kind of suit that better? Like, do you lead it to your game a bit more?
Yeah, I mean, look, we didn't play very well. That's evident. We have nobody to blame but ourselves, but we can definitely be a lot better.
Evander, penalties on such a side, seemed like you guys never really got to your game tonight. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think part of it is the amount of special teams. I don't know how many minutes there were 5-on-5 in the first period, even the second maybe. I'm not sure. Obviously we make it a 1-goal game. Paris makes a nice play, and then we give it right back. So that's tough, and didn't have the third period. Just it is what it is.
Things have been sailing for you guys pretty well since game 2 against LA. Is this kind of a low point, and how do you kind of recover?
Yeah, I mean, look, we could have lost 3-2 in triple overtime, and the series is 2-1. So, how you lose in the playoffs really doesn't matter as much than it might in the regular season. We have a shot to get a split here on Thursday, and that's the focus at this point.
Evander, what do you look at? I mean, penalties aside, what do you look at you need to clean up here to do what you want to do?
Well, I think we were a little disconnected, especially through the neutral zone, from our end to the neutral zone. I think if we can be a little cleaner there and have a little bit more possession, come in unison, which will create better forechecks and easier to hold on to pucks and turn pucks over in the O zone. So I think if we can do a bit better job of that, that should help our game.
Is that partially their pressure? Did it get to you guys a little bit tonight?
Yeah, I don't know if it got to us tonight. We know they pressure. We know they pinch down on the wall. I think it's just about trying to execute the right game plan against that to counteract it.
You hear a lot in the regular season about watching this type of game away. Is that harder to do in the playoffs? Is that still something that you try to do?
Look, it's losing in the playoffs, whether it's in round 1, game 1, or the Stanley Cup final. It's never a good feeling, but we've been here before. We've been down in series before, and we've had tough losses. So it'll sting right now, and we'll flush it tomorrow and get ready for Thursday.
Control and emotionally even keeled. Florida is obviously a really good team that can score. Did you get sucked into kind of playing their game a little bit tonight, or was it just a byproduct of it unraveling? What do you think happened?
Well, definitely third period's an unraveling. I think the game was out of hand. I don't think we would have acted or played like that had the game been a 1-goal or 2-goal game. I think our guys were just trying to, boys being boys. I guess just trying to make investments for the next game. The first period, obviously, there 4 penalties, which is way too many. We shouldn't have those. But I kind of question some of those penalties. So,
left side, fourth row.
Yeah, just Chris, kind of building off that, can you win a game like this where there's so much special teams and so much chippiness? Are you getting kind of too far along into the way that the Panthers want to play?
No, I don't think so. We got some guys maybe would love to drop the gloves a little more and get at her a little much, but we're a big physical team. Like, we do have some skilled guys, and I don't see our skilled guys getting distracted and getting into that. The guys who like it are getting into it. So, and just following up with the penalties, the referees, I think they did an outstanding job tonight, and they even caught the too many men penalty in the first period, which was too many men. They caught us there. I just wish they had been calling the game in game 2 in overtime.
Other questions for Chris? Right side, third row.
Hey, Chris, obviously penalties play a role in this, but, Brad Marchand scores less than a minute into the game. I wonder if you feel like you guys ever found footing because of the goal early. Did it take you out of it at all, do you think?
No, I don't think we did. Took it out early, but there was, I think we had 4 kills in the first period. I think they had 3. So special teams, there might have been 5 minutes of 5-on-5 play. And, I think we scored a power play goal in the second period, make it 2-1. And all right, now we've got a game. Next shift, they score. And I think that was about it for us. I don't think we really found our footing after that third goal.
On the far right, standing.
Just offensively, Chris, right here. You guys obviously produced some offense in the first couple, but it just seemed like you never really got to it tonight. Was it more what they were doing? I think Draisaitl was 6+ minutes without a shot attempt on the power play alone. So what was happening there?
Yeah, 5-on-5. I think I don't think we found our game, and that's the first period. Special teams taking it out of it. We've got a lot of guys who really didn't get much ice time in the first period. Unless they're on the penalty kill or, first unit power play, there really wasn't much for those guys. And I just think after they scored their third goal, I think that really took us. It was difficult for us to get our game after that.
Take a few more left side, fourth row.
Chris, what's the most effective part of Florida's game tonight that did you guys in your mind?
I don't know. I'm sure they played a pretty good game. Like, they checked us tight, and there wasn't much room for us. And it wasn't. I don't think there was many forechecking like there was in the first 2 games. And I don't know. Probably that's because of the amount of special teams there was. So I don't know. They played a heck of a game, and we're gonna have to raise ours.
Back to the right side, standing.
Chris, what was the thinking behind pulling Stu, and do you have a decision on goaltending to make for Game 4?
No, we haven't made a decision on goaltending, and Stu, I don't think, had much chance on many of those goals. And I think collectively, goaltender, defense, all our forwards, we all have to be better.